Very excited today to be here with co-founder and CEO of Orlando-based startup AireHealth, Stacie Ruth. Stacie and AireHealth are participating in a special program that we run here at Synapse, where we bring crowdsourced talent to solve innovation challenges and find new ideas for your needs. And we've introduced you to a few organizations previously that have participated in these innovation challenges. Last month, you met our partners at Goodwill. And this month, we're excited to bring you a totally new perspective on the value of innovation challenges. And these challenges in particular are really special. They were supported by a grant from the SunTrust Foundation. And by opening up this opportunity to identify organizations and companies that could support and engage with the community, we found this terrific moment to connect with the team at AireHealth over in Orlando and introduce you to this really important innovation that they've come up with to solve a challenge that's facing millions and millions of Americans. So let me introduce you to our special guest joining us live from her offices in Orlando, Stacie Ruth. Hi, Stacie. Thanks so much for being here and welcome.
Hi. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone that's listening.
It's our pleasure. And we're excited to do this remotely. We're here in Tampa, Florida at the studios at Bake More Pies, and you're over there in your offices in Orlando. So we got our technical components all worked out, and we're rolling now. So thanks everyone who's listening and watching. We're really glad to have you on board joining us from your offices. So I know you've got a super busy schedule, but we're really pleased that you've taken the opportunity to pose this innovation challenge to the community and really use this as a chance to educate the community about the importance of your topic. So why don't we talk a little bit about what AireHealth is doing to improve the lives not just of Floridians, but of so many Americans?
Absolutely. Thank you. And yes, talking about technical, right? And we have to test ourselves a bit every day on being sure that we're looking at technical things, innovation things outside of the technology. So what I want to explain is that AireHealth is here to serve 29 million wheezy kids. And what I mean by wheezy kids, these are kids that need respiratory drug delivery. They may have croup, or they might have a chronic infection of the lung, or they might have the precursors to asthma. And what AireHealth is bringing to market is a device that allows them to take their medication on the go and also helps them to record all of their symptoms and information in a medical app. So in short, we're helping wheezy kids deal with their respiratory care.
So, and as you said, 29 million kids. I understand that's about statistically 1 in every 12 children in America suffers from asthma, and it's the leading cause of missed school days. And if you think about the repercussions of that, it's really pretty serious. So you're solving a huge challenge in the healthcare space. So, how did you end up deciding to focus on this particular issue?
Well, what we look at is really the larger issue, which are respiratory conditions impacting Americans. We have about 103 million people that are considered to have chronic respiratory disease or illness. And when we looked at the opportunity to help those individuals, we found by doing a couple of business cases, so old school, rolling up your sleeves and doing some business cases, we found that the most underserved area was in the pediatric area. And we felt very strongly, as a mom myself, and several of our advisors and employees have children as well, that this was an issue we wanted to tackle and specifically go after it for the pediatric space. So it took a lot of hard work, crunching numbers, understanding the problem, and then looking for the most underserved area.
So can you talk a little bit about how AireHealth's approach is different from that anywhere else on the market?
Yes, so nebulizers are not new, and I'm going to show you a nebulizer just so you have an idea of what we're talking about. Nebulizers are 30-plus-year-old technology, which allows the drug to be put into a vessel and comes out as aerosol. But the way that it's been done on the market today is with very large devices, and very large devices that can't be taken anywhere. They have to be plugged in. They are run with a motor. They're very loud. And that's what the predominant market standard has been up until the recent years. In recent years, we're starting to shrink that, miniaturize that, which is very much a healthcare or a health technology trend, is to take large devices and make them smaller. A few companies are doing that. What AireHealth is doing differently is we're working with a proprietary micromesh. So the actual physical material that the drug passes through to create an aerosol that you can inhale into your lungs, that's a proprietary piece of technology for us here at AireHealth. Developed by my co-founder. I'll tell you a little bit more about him later, but he is an expert, a PhD in lasers and photonics, and really brought a different type of technology background into this very important nebulizer space. So we've made it smaller. We have proprietary technology around how the medication is delivered, and then we're adding something that doesn't exist on the market today. We're connecting that with a mobile app.
So can you talk a little bit about the implications of having this transportable, smaller, and much quieter technology to help kids? Because the implications of them not following through, I have 2 young kids at home, and sometimes just getting them to do the basics to get out the door in the morning can be a challenge. So I can't imagine the challenge for a caregiver who's trying to get a kid to take medicine, especially if it's using a device that can be noisy, that's a little bit cumbersome. So talk a little bit, if you would, about the implications of, creating this new accessibility in this important health tech space.
Yes, so adding to the accessibility, so think about not being able to take it out of your home. That's one piece that held us back before. But now you can be on the go with it. And what this proprietary technology allows us to do is to, A, customize to a certain category of drug, which is pretty novel in the space, and B, it allows the drug to be delivered more quickly. So imagine you're in your routine in the morning, you've had your bowl of cereal, you've brushed your teeth, and now you need a treatment, a breathing treatment. And what if it took 20 to 25 minutes? Wow, I know that, I'm a teenager now, but getting a kid up 25 minutes earlier so they can take a treatment, it's not likely to happen every day. This device can deliver in 5 to 7 minutes a typical dosing for asthma. So it's really fitting better into the routine. Now, what happens if you don't maintain your care, right? If you're not taking your medications in a timely manner or proactively, you can start to see what are known as clinical exacerbations. In simplest terms, it basically means your symptoms are getting worse. And sometimes that can happen slowly over time and go unrecognized. That's where an app comes into play. So when you're logging your symptoms on a daily basis, you catch ahead of time what you would have without an application and understand if your child, or even if you are yourself, administering the medication, yet still have symptoms.
So the key here is not just accessibility, but also supporting patient compliance. And that's such an important component of the success of the delivery method of any health tool for any of us. So this is really quite transformative, what you've created through your company. And through the Innovation Challenge in particular, I want to move to that because you've really challenged our community to help ensure that compliance is part of the routine and really easy and accessible. So can you share specifically what inspired you and what you were trying to solve by presenting, even as a pretty young startup, an opportunity to pay it forward and engage other talent in the community to help you meet the needs of these 29 million kids that you know that you're serving through the creation of your new technology?
Yes, and I love it. And I love that you use the word compliance, and I'm going to turn that a little bit on its head, because one of our belief systems at AireHealth is this is more about teaching the patient and the caregiver to be more adherent. And with adherence, you become more proactive. You start to learn more about your condition and about the effectiveness of the drug being delivered to you, which then creates a full circle, 360. And that side of the compliance equation is really more about adherence. So adherence is the human behavior that changes. Compliance is the measure of that. So what we believe is focus earlier in that cycle at the adherence point, and give an individual or a caregiver taking care of that pediatric patient, give them a reason to be more proactive with their care, because you're informing them and giving them the right information at the right time to prevent a serious situation or an emergency room visit.
So what are some of the goals, the things that you're hoping to see from the community to help improve adherence from your community of users?
So adherence is really about the experience, right, and the engagement that leads to a behavior change. So although you might look at this on the surface and think, well, what do I do from a device standpoint? Well, maybe not a whole lot, since it's an FDA-regulated device. You're not going to be able to change the way drug is delivered, for example, or the industrial design. All of those things have already been cleared through the FDA. But what you could say is, what would make a kid want to use this more? Is it something with a skin? Is it some sort of a special casing that goes around it? Is it a color change? Is it something that you might be able to use design thinking? So what I would really encourage the community to do is to think beyond the physical and think more about the experience that they could in turn improve for the pediatric patient. So these are kids under 18, or even the caregiver. So what could we change in the caregiver experience? And then we also put in the challenge, don't forget about the payers. Don't forget about the providers. Don't forget about the distribution channels for this particular type of product. Anyone who has knowledge of the workings of healthcare or how products get into the hands of patients, we want them to think about turning that paradigm on its head a little bit and think everything from user experience, design thinking, making it more friendly for a child, APIs that could be created for our digital app. We want the gaming community involved in thinking about, are there ways to interact with a small child to teach them better breathing techniques, better adherence ideas for them and their caregiver. I hope that helps, but it's not about, here's a device, what can I do to change the device? Here's an app under development, how do I change the app? It's really about how do you take all of the principles of innovation and find that one nugget that you can bring AireHealth, and together we'll implement your idea.
I am so grateful that you've engaged in this opportunity to connect with our community and present this challenge. We talk all the time about the fact that innovation really can live in so many different places. You've taken a technology that's a tried and true, though difficult sometimes, technology, and you've taken that and kind of spun it on its head. And now to really engage the community in user experience, design thinking. I love the idea of those of you who are involved in the gaming community to think about how you can utilize your skills to make this fun for the user, so that, you know, that makes it easier for the caregiver, the parent, the adult in charge, to kind of make sure that the kids are doing this, and also to make it fun for the kids, so that it's not a chore and they really see the value and the benefit from participating in this even before they actually get a chance to improve their health from delivery of this particular medication. So I think this is an awesome challenge. Those of you listening, I want to remind you that you have an opportunity to ask questions of Stacie now by posting onto our Facebook Live feed, and our producer will take a look at those questions and pass those along. And if you're watching this after the fact and a question comes up you just need to have an answer to, so that you can participate and give the best possible information and suggestions and challenge solution to AireHealth, then feel free to reach out to us. You can always contact us at info@synapsefl.com. And when you're ready to log on and challenge yourself to meet this need, the prize is $10,000. And believe me, you know, Stacie and her team, they are seasoned innovators, seasoned entrepreneurs. They really understand the talent needed to make this most effective. So the opportunity to partner with their team in presenting your solution is really an awesome one for those of you who are looking to get into this space and really kind of stretch your muscles. So make sure that you check out synapsefl.com under challenges, and you can go on and learn more and then sign up so that you can actually participate in providing your solution.